Have you ever tried to forget someone, only to think about them even more? No matter how much time passes, their name still appears in your mind. Their face still visits your thoughts. The memories still replay themselves. Again, and again, and again. You tell yourself to move on. You promise yourself that tomorrow will be different. Yet somehow, you find yourself checking old messages, replaying old conversations, wondering what they're doing, wondering if they miss you, wondering if they'll ever come back. And perhaps the most painful question of all, what if I was enough, but they simply chose someone else? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. Millions of people carry invisible emotional chains, not because someone is physically holding them, but because their mind refuses to let go. The strange thing is, sometimes the person we're suffering over has already moved on. They're living their life, building new memories, following new paths, while we're still trapped inside a story that ended long ago. And that's what makes attachment so dangerous. It convinces you that holding on is love, when in reality, holding on is often the very thing preventing you from healing. Marcus Aurelius understood this truth nearly 2,000 years ago. He knew that one of the greatest battles a person will ever fight is not against another person, but against their own mind. Because suffering doesn't always come from losing someone. Sometimes suffering comes from refusing to accept that they are already gone. Think about it. How much of your peace has been stolen by someone who isn't even present anymore? How much energy have you spent imagining conversations that will never happen? Waiting for messages that may never come? Searching for closure from people who were never willing to give it? The Stoics taught something powerful. You do not control who stays. You do not control who leaves. You do not control how others feel about you. But you do control something far more important. You control how long you allow them to occupy your mind. In this video, we're going to explore 10 powerful Stoic rules inspired by Marcus Aurelius that can help you release emotional attachment, stop overthinking, reclaim your self-respect, and finally find peace within yourself. You'll learn why closure is often an illusion, why romanticizing the past keeps you trapped, how to stop chasing what no longer belongs to you, and how to shift your focus from the person you lost to the person you are becoming. Because true healing doesn't begin when they come back. True healing begins when you stop needing them to. What you're about to hear may challenge the way you've been thinking about love, heartbreak, and emotional freedom. But if you truly understand these lessons, you may finally experience something you've been searching for all along: peace. So stay with me until the very end, because the final lesson may be the one insight that finally helps you let go of someone you've been carrying in your mind for far too long. So, let's begin. Rule 1. Accept what you can't control. The first and most important rule is to draw a hard line between what you can control and what you can't. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it simply: there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Someone else's feelings, their choices, whether they're in your life or not, all of that is external. It's outside of your control. You can't force someone to love you. You can't will a text message into existence. You can't rewind time and change what they did. Trying to do any of that is exactly why you're suffering. The Stoics teach us that our peace gets shattered the moment we tie it to things we don't command. Letting go starts with the brutal, but liberating, acceptance of this truth. It's not a sign of weakness, it's the highest form of wisdom. Stop fighting a war with reality. You'll only wear yourself out. Instead, turn your focus inward, to the one place where you are the commander, your own mind. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Rule 2. Stop romanticizing what hurt you. Let's be honest, your memory is a pretty selective editor. It plays a highlight reel of the good times, the laughter, the intimacy, the shared dreams. It conveniently leaves out the arguments, the anxiety, the moments you felt disrespected, and the real incompatibilities that led to the end. That romanticized story is what's keeping you chained to a fantasy. The Stoic response? Demand the full story. Remember the relationship for what it actually was, not just its best moments. Recall the times you felt small, the promises that were broken, and the needs that were never met. The philosopher Seneca warned that we often suffer more in imagination than in reality. By romanticizing the past, you are choosing to suffer in your imagination. You're falling for a ghost that you yourself created. Pain is a teacher, but only if you're willing to listen. Don't honor your pain by turning it into some beautiful tragedy. See it clearly, learn from it, and use that clarity to walk away. Rule 3. Create distance to get clarity. Distance isn't a punishment for them, it's a sanctuary for you. It's impossible to heal a wound that you keep reopening. Every time you check their social media, reread old messages, or ask friends about them, you're picking at the scab. The Stoics knew that our environment and habits shape our thoughts. If you want to change your mind, you have to change what you feed it. This is a practical step, not an emotional one. Mute their profiles. Archive the message thread. Put away the photos and reminders. This isn't about pretending they never existed. It's about giving your mind the clean, quiet space it desperately needs to recalibrate. Epictetus advised, keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. For now, their life is their business. Your mind is yours. Create that distance, not out of anger, but out of respect for your own peace. Clarity is found in the quiet, not in the noise. Rule 4. Break the thought loop. The thought of them popping into your head isn't the real problem. The problem is the loop. It's that compulsive replay, the obsessive what-if game that runs in your head like a corrupted program. The Stoics taught that you are not your thoughts, you are the one who observes your thoughts. You don't have to engage with every single one that shows up. So, when a memory of them appears, just notice it. Acknowledge it without judgment, like a cloud passing in the sky. You can even label it, there's that thought loop again. And then, gently, redirect your focus. Don't fight the thought, that just gives it more power. Don't follow it down the rabbit hole. Just let it be, and turn your attention to right now. Feel the chair you're sitting on. Notice the sound of your own breathing. As Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By refusing to feed the loop, you starve it of the attention it needs to survive. Every time you do this, you weaken its power and strengthen your own. Rule 5. Separate the facts from the story. Your mind is a natural storyteller. The fact is, the relationship ended. The story your mind tells you might be, I wasn't good enough, or I'll be alone forever, or I just lost my only shot at happiness. These are emotionally charged stories, not objective truths. Marcus Aurelius wrote, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Practice stripping away the drama and looking only at the facts. The fact is, they didn't text me back. The story is, they're ignoring me because they don't care. The fact is, they are with someone new. The story is, they've replaced me, which means I'm worthless. It's the stories that cause the pain. So, stick to the facts. The facts are neutral. They don't have the power to destroy you. The stories you tell yourself about them do. When you feel that pain rising, just ask yourself, what is the fact here? And what is the story I'm telling myself about it? When you separate the two, you take your power back from the fiction. Rule 6. Put your energy back into your life. Think about the immense amount of energy you've been pouring into a situation you can't change. Now, imagine what would happen if you redirected all of that focus, all that mental energy, back onto your own life. This is the heart of Stoic practice, turning from pointless obsession to productive action. You can't control if they come back, but you can control your physical health. Go for a walk. Hit the gym. You can't control their opinion of you, but you can control your own mind. Read a book. Learn that skill you've been curious about. Meditate. As Epictetus urged, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Who do you want to be now that this chapter is over? A person defined by their absence, or a person defined by their own growth? Fill your days with actions that are fully yours to command. Rebuild your life, not to impress them, but to respect yourself. Excellence is a habit, and now is the perfect time to start building it. Rule 7. Rebuild your identity. When a significant relationship ends, it can feel like you've lost a piece of yourself. Your identity gets tangled up with theirs. Your routines, your hobbies, your plans for the future, they were all connected. Now, there's a void. The Stoic task isn't to mourn the void, but to fill it with your own purpose. As Seneca said, you can't always choose your circumstances, but you can always choose your response. Reconnect with the person you were before the relationship. What did you love to do? What goals did you have? Revisit old hobbies and find some new ones. Spend time with friends and family who knew you before, the ones who see you for who you are, completely separate from your relationship status. Your identity isn't half of a whole. It is already complete. The end of a relationship is a painful but powerful chance to rediscover who that person is. As Epictetus said, know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Rule 8. Protect your peace like it's a fortress. Your inner peace, your tranquility, is your most precious possession. The Stoics called it apatheia, a state of mind free from being jerked around by emotions. You've allowed someone's memory direct that peace. You've basically handed them the keys to your inner fortress. It's time to change the locks. Epictetus warned, keep constant guard over your perceptions, for it is no small thing you are protecting, but your respect, trustworthiness, and steadiness, peace of mind, in a word, your freedom. This means setting firm boundaries. It means saying no to the thoughts that disturb your peace. It means refusing to get pulled into conversations that just reopen the wound. It means treating your mental space as sacred ground, where only constructive and helpful thoughts get a pass. Ask yourself, does this thought, this action, this conversation protect my peace or threaten it? If it threatens it, you have a duty to yourself to walk away. Rule 9. Stop demanding closure from someone who can't give it. One of the most painful traps we fall into is waiting for closure. You think that if you could just have one more conversation, if they could just explain why, if they could just acknowledge your pain, then you could finally move on. But the Stoics teach that relying on someone else for your own inner peace is a fool's errand. Closure isn't something another person gives you. It's something you give yourself. Waiting for them to say the perfect words to heal you is just keeping yourself a prisoner. They probably don't have the answers you're looking for, or worse, they're just not concerned with giving them. Real closure comes from accepting the situation for what it is, learning what it taught you, and making the powerful decision to close that chapter of your life yourself. You're the author of your own life story. You don't need another character's permission to write the next chapter. Rule 10. Choose freedom over fantasy. Right now, in this moment, you're making a choice. You might be choosing the fantasy of them over the reality of your own life. The imagined conversations, the fragile hope of their return, the romanticized memories, this is a fantasy. It's a comfortable prison, maybe, but it's still a prison. The reality is that your life is happening now, without them in it. And this reality is where your freedom is. Epictetus taught that freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The fantasy of them is beyond your control. Your actual life, this present moment, is where all your power lies. To let go is to consciously choose reality over illusion. It's choosing the uncertain freedom of the future over the familiar pain of the past. It will hurt at first, like stepping into bright sunlight after being in a dark room. But this is where your life is. This is where you can build, grow, and finally find the peace you actually deserve. If these principles resonated with you, and you felt a spark of hope, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more wisdom on living a stronger life. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. To really affirm your commitment to this journey, comment below with the words, "I choose peace." It's a declaration to yourself and a powerful signal to everyone else here who is also choosing to take back their strength. Letting go isn't a one-time event, it's a daily practice. It's the practice of choosing yourself over and over again. The Stoic path isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. Grief is human, and pain is natural. The goal is to feel these things without being controlled by them. It's to regain your self-respect, to find your center in the middle of a storm, and to remember that your life's worth is not determined by who stays, but by how you choose to live. The person you can't stop thinking about has become an obstacle to your own growth. By using these rules, you can turn that very obstacle into the path toward your own liberation. Your peace is waiting. Go and claim it.